Hello, everybody. My name is Chris, and I am the face and voice behind Casual Card Center, which is the name of this channel and the name of a TCG player store. And the name actually comes from the store because I like alliteration. But yeah, I'm here making this YouTube channel because I like opening these card packs. I like opening Pokemon. I like opening some Magic. I love opening Gundam, stuff like that. And it has become more than like a casual hobby for me. And so I wanted to do something with it. And I know a lot of people do these shorts where they open packs and things like that. And I wanted to see if maybe I could do that. So this is a brief introduction to me, to what this channel is going to be, and kind of where I hope for it to go, assuming everything works out. And so, a little bit about me to start. I have not really been a big like TCG guy for a long time. When I was a kid, like really young, late 90s, early 2000s, I did collect some Pokemon. But it was at a time where I didn't really have access to a lot of money. I was like 10, 11 years old, and it just wasn't a thing that I could get heavily involved in. And so it wasn't until maybe like 2004, 2005, I got really into Yu-Gi-Oh! Love that show. The anime is fantastic. And I really got into playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Dabbled in Magic a little bit. My dad didn't like it for some reason. He's like, don't ever play that. Don't buy those cards. I don't like them. They're demonic or something. I don't know. It was rare. It was a rare, please don't do this from him. And I think I messed that up at one point, and I bought more when he didn't want me to. And so Magic got kind of nipped in the bud. But Yu-Gi-Oh! Was something that took off for me. I think it was probably actually closer to 2002, 2003. Yeah, 0203. Kind of peak dual city, battle city arc of Yu-Gi-Oh! I played, loved the Egyptian god cards and stuff like that. Had a group of friends, a local group of friends that played, and lucky for me, was the best player among us, and so I won all my duels, and that was really fun. And then all my friends moved away, and I didn't have anyone to play Yu-Gi-Oh! With, and so for years I had no incentive to start, collecting or playing anything. And after years of these digital card games, whether it's Magic, whether it's Yu-Gi-Oh!, whether it's, third-party branded TCG game, I realized that I just don't have the beautiful mind to play these games, especially not Yu-Gi-Oh! Anymore. It's like one and done. You either win or lose in the first turn, and I can't do that. That's not anything that appeals to me at this point. I did dabble a little collecting maybe like 3 years ago. I was buying some cards occasionally for Yu-Gi-Oh! Just for ha-has. I think I like rebuilt a deck. And then I think I realized that like I built a deck I would have liked as a child, which would be a terrible deck right now. And I gave up on that. I still have those cards though. I actually have, you can kind of see it right up there, the dual disc over there. I had to have one. One of my friends had one as a kid, and I got to use it sometimes. And when I was an adult, I finally bought one. My deck is actually in there. Go figure, it's a Blue Eyes deck. I don't know why. I always like the Seto Kaibas, the Vegetas. Those are just the characters. I don't know what it is. And yeah, I really didn't give a second thought to Pokemon or anything. And especially as COVID happened and things got crazy and everything got expensive, I'm really big into electronics, PCs, stuff like that. And like I was struggling to get a graphics card during the pandemic. And so I could only imagine what it was like trying to get, Pokemon cards. It had to be an absolute nightmare, getting a PlayStation 5, things like that. It was absurd, fighting off scalpers and things like that. It was tough. And so the thought of getting into trading cards at that time, which, were, an increasingly big item, it just didn't appeal to me. And I probably wouldn't even be talking to you about any of this if it wasn't for my honeymoon. I got married back in April of 2025, and we went on our honeymoon in May. We were on a cruise, and there was a vending machine, and it had Pokemon cards in it. And I went to my wife, I said, wouldn't it be funny if I started opening Pokemon cards? What if I bought like 1 or 2 packs a day while we're on this cruise? And she was like, oh God, because she knows how I get. And I decided, you know what, I'm going to do like a couple packs here and there. And then I ended up getting my first big pull. I got I don't remember which pack it was from, if it was Obsidian Flame or something else, but I got I think it's a Secret Illustration rare, a scissor. It's like big red background. I don't have the picture of it. I'll try and put it in here if I remember while I'm editing. And I was like, yo, this is like a really cool card. This is probably the coolest card I've ever pulled, ever. You know, out of everything I've ever pulled for any card game. And that was bad news for me, because then I was kind of hooked. And, you know, we got back from the honeymoon. We ended up going to pick up some, I didn't have any sleeves to keep them in. I bought a watch while I was on the cruise. I safely tucked them into the watch box so that the cards would be safe on the ride home. We bought some sleeves for them and stuff, and kind of just casually kept opening cards. Realized I had a bunch of local card stores around me, and started getting more and more into it. And it was up and down, you know, the cards were expensive. And recently, you know, some of those cards have been coming down. They've been easier to get, finding different stores and different pricing. So, you know, I can get certain things from one store, certain things from another store. Heck, I was out there today and I got multiple packs, even a booster bundle at MSRP. And so the world is healing, and that's awesome. And I don't want to be, just to be clear, I have no intention of being somebody who just resells packs or anything like that. That's not my intention. I open everything I buy because I'm not here for, I can't be bothered to resell that stuff. It's just, it's disastrous. I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to be a scalper. Having been on the other end of that, I couldn't ever do that. And I open everything I buy because I like the chase. I like the thrill of pulling the card. And, you know, when I pulled my first Charizard from a 151 bundle, it was a Charizard EX, and it was just the fact I audibly gasped because I pulled a Charizard. It didn't matter what Charizard it was. I had a Charizard that I traded, I think, a Dark Magician for as a kid. Probably ripped that other kid off, but we won't talk about that. I don't know what I did with it. I think I traded it again for like more Yu-Gi-Oh cards because I was a kid. I didn't know. And I just, the fact that I pulled a Charizard was like this magical moment of like, oh my God, I finally pulled a Charizard. You know, my whole one of my worst memories of pulling Pokemon cards was as a child. My dad took me to this card store. It was me and one of my friends was with us, and he had his own money. And so my dad let me pick a pack. So I bought a pack. My friend took the next pack under it and bought that pack. I opened mine up, got nothing. He opened his up, got a Blastoise. And I was just like, I hate collecting Pokemon. I just hate it. Because I could have had a Blastoise. And he goes home and puts it in a binder with like 8 other Blastoise. He's sitting there on the bus with like a binder full of Blastoise and Chansey and all this stuff. And he's just trading Blastoise for stuff. And I'll give you this and this. You give me the Venusaur and that. And I'm just like, I wish I had any of this. But, you know, my luck has gotten a little better these days. You know, Destined Rivals has been good to me. I've pulled 2 of the gold super rare. I think they're super rare, or are they ultra rare? Don't quote me. I'm still new to all this. The gold lightning tower, I pulled 2 of those. I got an Ethan's Typhlosion, not gold. And I got the gold Mewtwo, which was the coolest pull I got that I have personally pulled. That was exciting. That's actually out for grading right now. I did send a few cards out for grading just because, you know, the scissor that I pulled from my honeymoon, I'm sending that out to get graded. Gonna keep that no matter what. My wife pulled one of the Secret Illustration rares of Psyduck on the stairs, And like right after we got home, she pulled it from the same 151 box I think that I pulled the Charizard from. She won that battle, but it was cool that I pulled a Charizard. But because she pulled that, I sent that out to be graded, the Mewtwo, and then the Triple Bird, the Zapdos, Moltres, Articuno, the promo one. I got one of those on a deal from a coworker, so I sent that out to be graded just to see what happens. And found out one of my buddies is really big into the scene. He just got a 10 Zekrom, and he's just like, yeah, I'm going to keep this forever. I'm like, bro, I wish I could be you. And, you know, I'm slowly finding out that I have a lot of friends who are still very much like into collecting this, and that's been fun. And that's part of why I wanted to do this, is to kind of, you know, share that fun, but also kind of stay engaged with some of those friends that I've maybe been a little more distant from in recent years. And this is a good opportunity to maybe get a little closer to them, and maybe they'll be on this channel at some point. So ultimately, like, what I'm getting at is I'm buying these cards because I want to open them, and I want to share the thrill of pulling that card. You know, that moment when you get that incredible pull. I think it's so awesome to share that with people, to share some of the down moments too, of just like, we haven't been hitting, and just people, you know, sharing stories. Yeah, you know, I've never had luck with this set, or, you know, right with the last pack, that's when it happened, you know, whatever. That stuff can be fun, and I think that would be, you know, incredible to be a part of something like that. A lot of the cards, I'll be honest, a lot of the individual cards that will come out of this, I do plan on reselling over on my TCG player store, just because I don't necessarily at this point have the attachment to a lot of them outside of like some of the Final Fantasy Magic cards. I know there's people out there who are more passionate about the cards themselves, and I don't know if that makes me like a bad person in this community or what. You know, I'm not, the priority isn't to resell the cards, because if it was, I'd already be doing it. I've been pulling cards since May, and I haven't sold a single one because I haven't just brought myself to do it. And if that was the most important thing to me, I would have been selling them by now and not investing hundreds of dollars into new packs and new bundles and things like that. And that's part of why, you know, starting the channel is because, hey, this is going to get me motivated. I have so many unopened things now. You know, it's just, it gets boring opening them by yourself. And so now I have this stockpile of unopened cards, and I'm like, I got to start recording videos so I can open these. But yeah, those cards that I pull are going to be available on that storefront. And so if anybody wants them, they're there. I'm not saying like this isn't some front just to sell you cards. Somebody will buy those cards. But if you're interested in them, they're going to be there, and you'll be the first to know that it's there because you're going to see it get pulled on this channel. I hope that doesn't make me some enemy of the community. That's not my end goal. But you know, that's just where I'm at right now. And eventually, you know, things can change, and maybe there will be a set. I'm holding out hope. You know, the Pal World developers invested in a trading card company, and if there's ever a set of cards I'm going to collect, it's going to be Pal World, because I have like 500 hours in that game, and I would love to see a trading card game for Pal World just to stick it to Nintendo. So, you know, that'll be something cool to kind of look forward to in the future. And, you know, as Final Fantasy comes back into reprint, I actually have a bundle or a whole booster box over here that I'm kind of holding on to that I want to open with you guys, because I have a personal affection for the Final Fantasy franchise, specifically 7. But there are a lot of other cards that I've pulled from that I've really liked. Some of the art cards especially, I think, are incredible. And those are some of the least valuable cards in that set because you don't play anything with them. But I think a lot of the art on those cards is so cool. And I love the way that Magic has handled a lot of that stuff. As far as the design of the cards, I think that's so cool. I think it's awesome that Final Fantasy did really well for them. I'm crossing my fingers for Halo, because that's another set that I I would love to collect some things from. I'm still trying to get like a really good Cloud, or a Tifa or something like that. Something from 7 that I can kind of hang my hat on and be like, I pulled this. Because even though there's a lot of cards, whether it's Pokemon, whether it's whatever, that Charizard, I'm not selling that Charizard. That's the first Charizard I pulled. I'm not selling that. That's special to me. So I can't think of how I want to put it, but like there is a certain attachment to some of these cards. It's not completely lost on me. It's not that I don't want to collect any of them. I'm not just trying to sell everything. I just, if I don't have a personal attachment to it, why not sell it? Buy more packs, get more cards, open more stuff, maybe get something I really want and care about. And that's really what it comes down to me is the thrill of the chase is kind of what I want. And, as a Destiny player, shout out to any Destiny players out there. The thrill of the chase is all there is. But yeah, so right now the plan is for I don't want to commit to daily uploads. I'm going to try and do daily uploads. And at a certain point that might be me just opening a single pack in a YouTube short or something like that. Maybe with some longer form videos mixed in. I have a special edition bundle for Prismatic Evolution that I want to open as like a big video, not something just on a short. I want to do like a big to do for that. And so that might be a long form video that I do and maybe take a part of that and make it into a short or something like that, which I think is probably a good idea. I'm going to try and do daily uploads, but like I don't have some crazy financial backing. I'm not actually a store. And that's also part of why, if I can get some of these cards selling, I can buy more cards and do more uploads and stuff like that. If it comes down to it, I may just do like, more like we're going to do 3 packs, but do them like every other day or something like that. But right now I'm going to try and shoot for daily as much as I can and, record a bunch of videos at the beginning of the week and then upload them throughout the week because it shouldn't be hard, right? It's work, it's extra work on top of my work, but it's something that I have fun doing. And I make some Destiny videos, some weapon review content, things like that on another channel, Nightmare CV, for anybody interested. And I like doing that, but sometimes the work that goes into sometimes having to play the game is the work, and then the video is like making the video is the treat. And so like this is something that I'm more motivated to do because I do like opening these packs. I just like doing it with friends. I was at a bachelor party a few weekends ago, and that's where I found out that he's really big into Pokemon, and I had some packs with me, and I was like, yo, let's open these. And I was rooming with 2 of my buddies, and we had so much fun opening the handful of packs that I had that we spent the rest of the day trying to find more packs. It was like 9 o'clock at night, and we were like, yo, do you think this Walgreens will deliver these Pokemon if we order them on Uber? And then Walgreens closed. It's like, okay, well, is there another store that's open till like 10? This store is like 27 miles away, and I don't want to drive in Boston. So like, I don't think we're going to make it. It's in Boston, so it's a 30-minute drive, so it's going to take an hour to get there. Unfortunately, we did not get more packs. We did stop on the way home together. All 3 of us ended up driving to a place to get some cards, which was fun. And I got you'll see this in the video. I got this awesome little 3D printed Pokemon Red cartridge. I have this up as like the backing for the video. For the pack openings, and It's a little fun little thing. Even got the, you've got the contacts down there. I like it. It's a cool little thing. I bought that among the other things I bought. But, I guess the long and short of it is I am having fun opening these packs, and I want to share my fun with other people, as either corny or sincere as you want to take that. And on the other end of that, I want to be able to have these cards available for people where if they want them, they know where to get them. And we'll see what happens with that one way or another. And either, people are going to hate me because I'm selling cards, and, that's fine. I'm sorry. Or, people are going to hate me because they don't like my pack openings because I'm the millionth channel in the world to decide to do that today. And again, I'm sorry. And if somewhere in the middle there is going to be someone, maybe you, who says, this guy's all right, I'm going to watch these YouTube shorts. So thank you for listening to my introductory ramble. These other videos should be better. The first one's always the hardest, and then they usually get better from there. And we'll see how much better I can make them. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye-bye.